Lost Cause Garage. So here is my IPA, and I had a little problem where I ordered liquid yeast, and it sat in quarantine in the heat, and unfortunately apparently it killed the yeast. Got too hot. So I didn't know that, and I brewed and pitched the yeast, and didn't work. Then I had a backup yeast, and that didn't work. So I had to order yeast, and I pitched it last night, and we are percolating. I used a dry yeast this time. I don't know if you can see the percolation. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Can you see that? Bloop. So that's the CO2 being produced by the yeast eating sugar. Sugar, sugar. Life is good. Lost Cause Garage. So, for over a decade, my family and I have been going to this lake in Pennsylvania. We stayed at a cabin and pulled the boat up, to the base of the cabin or the beach, whatever. And during the course of the week, we go to a store and we buy an air gun. And so we've collected a bunch. I don't know if we've ever gotten rid of any, so maybe this is the arsenal. And so I'll just go through them. This was, I think, one of the first. Shoots just BBs. And amazingly, I think it cost like $15. But it's basically just a spring. And it says on the package, it shoots commensurate with the price. Which means it doesn't shoot well at all. And you can kind of see the BB go like, boink, just shoot out like that. So that was one of the first, but it's fun. You can still knock over cups and stuff. Then we moved into the CO2 version. And this one, I think this one has a clip. There it is. All right. And you load that up with BBs. And I think it shoots about, I don't know, maybe 50 BBs before they're really no more power. And this one's actually very cool. I've had these before when I was younger. There we go. So it's got two of these kind of clips. I think this one's the pellet clip, and then it's got a BB clip. And the BB clip, it's got like 12 shots, and the pellet clip's got 10 shots. But this one's very nice, and it's just really well made. So he's got the two settings, bang, or you can just pull the trigger. So that's cool. And then I think this is the most recent one. This is a target pistol, just one pellet. I think it's like 8 to 10 pumps, and it's got a really high muzzle velocity relative to these other. I think just higher than those. Anyway, definitely higher than that one. And then we got this pretty traditional 10 pump. I think it's a Craftsman Cross something. And unfortunately, I was trying to keep the squirrels away, and I think I left it pumped up, and now it just goes. So I think I screwed the seal up. But I did oil it and see if it's getting a little better, but I don't think it's coming all the way back. And then the last one, Red Ryder. This thing's a blast. For shooting cans or whatever. It's got enough power, and it's got some accuracy, right? And particularly if you can see the BB fly out, you can kind of tailor you can move it here or there. So, yeah, and at some point, years ago, I had I think it was a bolt action 22 with a clip, and I've since gotten rid of it, but I'd like to have some higher power firearms at some point, but in New Jersey, not so supportive of that. Anyway, Lost Cause Garage. Hey, Lost Cause Garage. So it's a little project update. I had been working on this fountain for quite some time. It's not hooked up right now because the vacuum's running. There's Mr. Robot. And Whoops, left my knife out here. And the issue was, every time I wanted to hook the fountain up, I had to unscrew it from the side of the pool there, and you couldn't do it when the water was, when the pump was on, because it would be blowing so hard. So I had this valve from a previous hot tub that I had built with my brother, and that hot tub was cool. It used a coal-fired boiler to heat the water. Of course, it had no control, so it just got unbelievably hot. Anyway, so I tried over and over to fashion a fitting that would hold that valve there. I don't know if you can see it, but like you can see some of the glue right by the where the valve connects to the pool wall. Anyway, took forever, but I finally got it. And now, if you just flip that valve, you can either have the fisheye blowing water in to help the water circulate, or the fountain. And I'd show you the fountain, but the robot just loves the fountain, just loves to grab the hose and everything. So that's that project. The other project was the leaking shower in the master bedroom, and it was leaking into my daughter's closet. So I took it all apart. I took the ceiling out in the closet, and the only thing I could think of that was causing it was there was a flange that connected the pipe underneath the floor to the drain. And I saw on the internet that flange was, I don't know, it's a very strange design, like why there just isn't a pipe that goes from the drain directly into the pipe. I don't know, but the flange allowed water to move sideways, and there was like a cavity in there, so I filled that with JB Weld. And then I tested it, and it still leaked. And so I lined the pipe with a PVC pipe, so it's a brass pipe. I lined with a PVC pipe and siliconed the bejeebers out of it, and tested that, and it still leaked. So I was baffled. Then I saw on the internet that tiles can be porous, or the grout and the tile can be porous. The tile can be porous. And so I bought a sealer, and I sealed it, and damned if that didn't seem to work. So I just re-sealed, so I put a second coat basically on the floor, and I did the walls, but I don't think that was that important. Maybe. Anyway, that seems fixed, knock on wood. And then the leaf blower, I basically gave up on. I got it working, and that was a piece of junk, and it was still ginormous. Like, it's just too big, and I have no place to park it. So I took that all apart, and I'm just using the trailer, because now I have all this scrap metal to get rid of. And what else? Oh, and then I got the chipper shredder. I would say it's just about there. I've been using it, and it chips and shreds. The one issue is that the pulleys, like when it gets jammed up, it really messes with the belt. So I bought 2 belts, and the one belt's probably half done, and then the other one's still new. But got the engine going great, and it's got a battery for the electric start, which is really nice. And I found the one thing is you got to keep the gas totally full, or it just starts sucking air, and then obviously it doesn't run right. And then the box blade, I haven't used it a lot, but I did dig a trench where the property's super wet over here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll walk over there. And just to kind of play with the box blade, and it really worked. The only problem is I do leave a blob of dirt at the end of my run. Like, so here's the blob I left there. But you can see I'm starting to just dig down, and I'll keep doing it. And get it to drain a little better. Because that's a swamp. I mean, after it rains, you can't cut the grass for 3 or 4 days, usually. And I think that's the updates. Yeah. Yep. So, all right, Lost Cause Garage.